Okay, my name is Russ, and I'll be interviewing Sharon and with Meg and Jamie, also has us as speech interns. And Sharon, can you briefly describe your life before your brain injury?
Well, let's see. I came to New Hampshire in 1988. Went to work at UNH that year and was working there just 15 years. And then one morning I took my dog out for a walk, and I was almost home and in the crosswalk, and I got hit by a car.
How did that affect your social life?
My social life? Well, for a while, pretty badly, but you know, your friends, they stay your friends, luckily, and I've really continued pretty much with things as they were in that regard, so.
Did it affect your family life at all?
At the time, because it was, of course, it was very upsetting to my kids, and my oldest son came up from, he was in Alabama at the time, and then after I got out of the hospital, I had to go and live with my younger son who lives near here, which that was about half a year, and so yeah, it made it hard for everybody, you know. But
so how did this affect you emotionally?
Emotionally, badly, I guess. I was very angry for a long time, just beginning to get by that, and trying to make the adjustments I need to make.
Okay. Can you describe your injury?
Well, my right leg was broken in 6 places, and it damaged my vision, which is still double, and my vocal cords, and I lost 10 teeth. And, well, actually I was in a coma for about 3 weeks. I think it was.
What's the extent of your rehabilitation? Things that you've done?
Well,
did you need physical therapy, or?
They sent me to the, well, I was a couple of months in Salem, the rehab out there, and then, so they did a lot of physical and emotional therapy there, and then they sent me back to Exeter Hospital for a while, and then from there they sent me to the rehab in Newington, the one over by the mall, and I was there, I guess, must have been 3-4 months. Physical, speech, all that kind of stuff, you know, everything they had to offer.
Did that work well?
I thought so, yeah.
How's your life been affected since your injury?
Actually, my life as I knew it was totally destroyed, really. Can't work anymore, and I had to move, and don't like where I'm living, looking to move again, and you know, that kind of thing. So,
how's your family life since your injury?
Well, my family, such as it is around here, mainly my son and his wife and their 2 girls, and they have since moved to Nottingham, and they have to help me out a lot, take me grocery shopping and doctor appointments and things like that, so it's affected everyone.
How's it affected your social life?
That I would say is about the same, which was limited to begin with, so, but that's the way I like it, so.
How about, do you have any financial burdens because of your injury?
Well, because I was working at UNH, I have long-term disability going on for a while.
Okay.
So that helps, but Yeah, my income is probably about half what it was before.
How about your belief system?
That, I think, actually I would say it stayed about the same, but once I got past all the, I'm going to run him over and blow up his house and all that kind of thing, you know. But
so it's affected you emotionally a little bit?
Oh, a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Badly, but.
What's the biggest thing you think that has changed since your injury?
The biggest thing? Everything's changed, really, but the biggest thing, I guess, would be that I can't work, which I always had done for about 40 years, and I really enjoyed it.
Has that made you angry or upset?
Oh, yeah, I would love to go back, but I'm beginning to realize that I can't.
What have been your biggest communication challenges? Was interacting with others easy or hard?
Well, I have some problems with my speech because of the damage to my vocal cords and my teeth and all that, but I think the biggest challenge is keeping my mouth shut part of the time.
Okay. How does it make you feel when you communicate? Does it make you happy, sad, or stressed out, or frustrated?
I do communicate. I feel, I feel okay about it. I wouldn't say I'm happy, but then again,
Okay. You don't seem like you have any problems communicating when you need to.
Not when I need to, I can. I just sometimes would rather not.
What are some of the goals that you have for yourself at this point in your life?
I guess to be independent, which would mean moving to a better location and being more independent, which I was before, completely, and that's been the hardest part. I don't like depending on anyone else for what I need, and now I have to depend on a whole bunch of people.
Do you think that relying on other people sometimes can help you take the steps you need to achieve the goals that you want?
I suppose, it's kind of taught me to be
accepting,
a little less abrasive, and open my eyes to what other people go through too, which I always knew but didn't affect me, so.
It's just more clear now.
Used to be, oh well, that's too bad, now I know what it's like.
What other barriers have you gone through?
Barriers? Well, for a while the people had to do just about everything for me, and my younger son, who did and still does a lot of looking after me and taking care of me, he was kind of shocked by the difference in me, and it's been very hard for him, and like me, he tends to think, well, this is what I think, so it's right, and so we argue about that kind of thing a bit, but we manage, yeah.
How has SteppingStones been an impact on your life?
Well, when I first came, I wasn't going to come again. They sent me over here from the rehab, and I had this idea, that ultimately I'd be fine, I'd be better, it would be over somewhere along the line. And so it's taken me a while to accept, that I need to be a part of something like this, but it's given me the opportunity to learn a lot of things about about myself, about others, and chance to do some of the type of work I used to do, so that's been a big help to me.
It's been a big transition moving from what you used to have to what you have now, and making things, relearning things.
And I still don't like it, but I don't have any choice, so.
Yeah.
How did you, you said that you were very angry for a long time. How did you get past the anger, or are you still working through that?
Actually, I think I'm only, it's been kind of complicated by the fact that there's been a legal case going on about it all, which is just now finished, and for a long time I guess I acted like, oh, he'd do this deliberately, which of course he didn't, and so I'm just beginning to get by that and say, well, there's nothing more I can do, so it has to be over. But so I think I'm pretty well past the anger. Just my next goal is to move as far as I can from where he is, and hopefully not run into them anymore, because I knew who they were before this happened. And
do you think that being here at SteppingStones you can help other people that have had a disability like yours, or?
Well, I think the thing about here is that, everyone, even all the injuries, everyone is different. You see people who are, in much better shape and people in much worse. Mm-hmm. So it really kind of opens your eyes, and it makes you glad when you can help someone out a little bit. Small things and things like that, so.
Have you learned a lot from the different groups here at SteppingStones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I especially like the mental health groups, like transitions and all that. And yeah, they've had some very good programs, like the Social Security people and the Medicare people, things like that, opportunities, that things you wouldn't have had otherwise, so it's been very good, yeah, in that regard.
Have you learned about different things to do to help yourself out financially also?
Well, I'll tell you, I've learned not to spend as much as I did before. Save some money and that kind of thing, so paid off some outstanding bills, that kind of thing, and well, won't do that anymore, but and so yeah, you have to learn to basically live differently than you did. But
are you virtually happier now that you've gone through all this grieving and bad feelings about what has happened, and do you understand it better?
I don't think I'd use the word happier. I don't think I'll ever be happy about it all.
Content, let me say, more content about what's being done about it.
Content maybe, because it's come to a point where that's over, and I'm glad it's over, and I just need to put it from my mind, which I'm pretty good at doing. I don't want to think about it, I don't. And I guess it's a matter of moving on, but I wouldn't say I'd ever be happy, about the whole thing. I don't think anybody would, but...
No. You seem to be quite happy while you're at SteppingStones at the front desk and doing the things that you do. And
yeah, I do like that, because it's a very small taste of what I used to do before, and no, I can't do anymore, so.
But does it bring back a lot of thoughts of what you used to do, and bring back a lot of good memories, and help you remember more?
I don't have any problem with, memory of anymore. I did for a while, but it gives me a chance to feel, a connection to what I did for so long, and so, it was really what I needed, and helped me out quite a bit.
So the longer time goes on, the more you understand about what's happened and the more you can deal with it, I suppose, and get things done.
Well, I think the biggest thing is just making the adjustments that I have to make. You know, because I said before, I always felt like, see, before this happened, there was really, depending on how you look at it, nothing wrong with me. You know, I had never been really ill or anything like that. So that made it very hard, you know, because I thought, well, if I didn't feel well, a day or two later, I'd feel fine.
Oh.
And I thought that would happen eventually with this too, just take longer, but that's kind of come through to me that, you know, it doesn't, and just some things I have to live with, and I'm very stubborn, so that's very hard to adjust to.
How long ago did this happen?
It was 3 years in January. And see, I should have been fine about 5 days after that, but
Can't always rely on the doctor's word.
of course 5 days after that I wasn't even awake, so.
Does this still affect you emotionally when you wake up every day?
When I first wake up, I, have that attitude of, you kind of go back to where you used to just jump out of bed and be fine. And now I have all I can do just to get out of bed, but so it kind of brings me down initially, but very briefly, and
So you've learned little tricks to help yourself cope with things?
well, I don't know if you'd say that, but it's just kind of an acceptance of this is what it is and I can't change it.
Okay. Do you have any goals that you're working on for the future that you're trying to achieve?
Well, like I said, I want to move and get myself settled in a new place, and I need to get myself involved in an exercise program because I've gained so much weight, and I have trouble getting around because I have a balance problem, so I need to get, adjust to all that and hopefully work through that. And then eventually I think I'd like to do some volunteer work, hopefully back where I was before, but if not there, somewhere else.
Do you think maybe physical therapy might help you with your balance problem?
I really don't know about that. I guess I'm going to have to go and see a neurologist about that, but
might be a good idea. Maybe you could see somebody here that might help you with that at SteppingStones.
Could be, I don't know. I think I'm just, one of the things I'm just stuck with. As long as people know I'm not drunk when I'm walking around.
We've been wondering about that.
My little granddaughter said to me a couple of weeks ago, "You've been drinking." No, just get out of my way, Not a bad idea, though, now that I think of it.
How do you feel society has treated you since your accident? Have they been accepting of you, or?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier nowadays because things are more geared to people with various handicaps and disabilities and stuff. It must have been terrible years and years ago.
Oh, definitely.
Must have been, but yeah, I can't really have any complaints about that.
I think that...
Give me a while, I'll think of something, but...
Yeah. I think it's a big thing because I think society has to realize people have disabilities and they have to learn to accept them as much as the person with a disability has to accept the feelings of society, how people push them aside. And
Yeah, well, you know, when it's not you, it's, you know, you can look at someone else and say, oh, that's too bad, and maybe try to help them or things like that. But you know, you just don't know until you go through something like that.
Can be difficult.
It sure is.
Where you live, are they accepting where you live of your disability, or do people know, or?
I've really generally kept to myself, and which is part of being a big city person, and but I can't say, you know, I haven't had any problems, and everyone's very nice, you know, very helpful when they need to be, and understanding, I would say.
Sounds good.
I wouldn't say it's hard. The location is bad. You know, I was used to living where I could, because I never did drive, and I lived where I could take both bus lines and go to work and wherever I wanted. And I had stores nearby and everything, so it was easy, you know, but now where I am, it's kind of, as far as I'm concerned, it's out in the woods, and I need help to get everywhere, you know, or do anything, and that part I don't like, and I hope to change that to some degree anyway.
So you plan on moving again? You plan on moving again to closer to town?
Actually, I'm planning to move out of Newmarket.
Well, that's closer to city stuff, I think.
So, you know, we'll have to, I have to see what's out there and what the money situation will be and all that.
Okay.
Right now I'm kind of nowhere.
And Russ, if you've hit all the questions, which I think you have, usually we'll wrap it up with something like,
Okay.
Is there any advice you should give, or you would give to someone that had been in a similar situation?
Yeah, is there any advice you would give to someone that has had an accident or anything similar to you that you'd like to give to someone else in your same situation?
Well, I don't know, at least I did. You go along thinking, you know, nothing bad can ever happen to me, really, nothing really bad. And then it does. So, you know, I think the biggest thing for me has been adjusting emotionally, say nothing of physically, you know, physical stuff. Everyone else can tend to, doctors and nurses and therapists and all that. But emotionally, you know, it's hard, and that's the hardest thing, really. So, therapy, I guess, if needed, and